जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ जय गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ जय गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन व्रजजन रंजन यशोदानंदन व्रजजन रंजन यमुना तीर वनचारी यमुना तीर वनचारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ जय गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ जय गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन व्रजजन रंजन यशोदानंदन व्रजजन रंजन यमुना तीर वनचारी यमुना तीर वनचारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna. So today we are going to read from Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, 33rd chapter, shloka 19. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtiki Nigam Kalpatarur Galitam Palam Shukmakadam Rat Dravya Sanyutam Ibat Bhagavatam Rasmalayam Muraho Rasika Bhuvi Bhavuka
Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tado Jayamudire
Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Tamasloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtaki
Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yatpatamam Mande Shri Gurundinataram Panmanandam Madhavam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Ishwaram. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I'm just sharing the screen.
I heard two voices. Haribol, Prabhu.
There are two voices because and the background, I think YouTube was also so you can just mute YouTube, Prabhuji, and then it will have one voice.
Oh, right now I heard, I think, did Rameswar Kanai Prabhuji?
Yes, he also was chanting.
He was also, okay.
Reciting the
Now,
story.
Prabhuji, another question. Now, this is continuation of yesterday's.
Yes,
correct.
Yes.
But yesterday, she said we're going to the fourth canto, no?
No problem. Few more verses are there.
Few more verses, yeah.
Few more verses are there. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Haribol, Prabhuji. Okay.
Hare Krishna,
In case you
Prabhu has not come. Now,
yesterday, Haribol.
Yes,
today
Shukra
was
Prabhu, yes,
Navakishore
something.
Prabhu, no? Today,
Haribol, can you hear me?
Harikishna Prabhu, today it is Navakishore Prabhu, no?
No, no, Sunday, Prabhu.
Sunday, okay.
Today, you only mentioned, no? Today, Ajit Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu, yes.
Prabhuji, Haribol, before you start, I have questions from yesterday's class.
Yes, Prabhu.
And while yesterday there was no time to ask questions, I think yours was the last questions Mataji addressed. And then, it was left. So my question is, she said Devoti Mataji, without doing devotional service, she got the benediction from the Lord Kapil Dev. So if you can just give me some insight on this, why she said without doing devotional service?
No, she did not say, Mataji, Prabhuji.
Yeah, yesterday she said this.
No. She continued doing this devotional service even after son Kapil Dev left, and she then achieved samadhi. That's what she said.
Achha, she did not say without doing
No.
devotional service. Mhm. Okay. Haribol. Yeah, please continue. Sorry. Haribol.
Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, 33rd chapter, 19th shloka. Yatra pravishtamatmanam atmanam Yatra pravishtam atmanam Vibhudanuchara jugaha Vapyam Utpalagandinyam Kardameno Palalitam Yatra pravishtam atmanam Vibhudanuchara jugaha Vapyam Utpalagandinyam Kardameno Palalitam Yatra pravishtamatmanam Vibhudanuchara jugaha Vapyam Utpala Gandinyam Kardameno Palalitam. Synonymous translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Synonyms. Yatra, where, Pravishtam, entered, Atmanam, unto her, Vibhuda Anucharaha, the associates of the denizens of heaven. Jagu, sang. Sang, sorry. Vapyam, in the pond. Utpala, of lotuses. Gandhinyam, with the fragrance. Kardamena, by Kardama. Uplalitam, treated with great care. Translation. When Devoti would enter that lovely garden to take her bath in the pond filled with lotus flowers, the associates of the denizens of heaven, the Gandharvas, would sing about Kardama's glorious household life. Her great husband, Kardama, gave her all protections at all times. Purport. The ideal husband and wife relationship is very nicely described in this statement. Kardamuni gave Devahuti all sorts of comfort in his duty as a husband, but he was not at all attached to his wife. As soon as his son Kapil Deva was grown up, Kardama at once left all family connection. Similarly, Devahuti was a daughter of a great king, Swayambhuva Munu, and was qualified and beautiful, but she was completely dependent on the protection of her husband. According to Manu, women, the fair sex, should not have independence at any stage of life. In childhood, a woman must be under the protection of parents. In youth, she must be under the protection of the husband. And in the old age, she must be under the protection of the grown children. Devahuti demonstrated all these statements of Manu Samhita in her life. As a child, she was dependent on her father. Later, she was dependent on her husband. And in spite of her opulence, she was later on dependent on her son, Kapil Deva. Hare Krishna. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakya Chachunamiltamena Tashmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Vistapitamena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeyam Shri Guru Shri Utpad Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavancham Cha Shri Rupam Sagra Jatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanutamsha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminati Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisheshunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prem Pedayate Krishnaya Chaitanya Namine Gaur Krishna He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namosute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriya Vancha Kalpatarubhashikpa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So in continuation to what we were discussing yesterday. So here also we are seeing Prabhupada writing in his purport few very important things. He's mentioning about the ideal husband and wife relationship, the type of relationship which Kardama Muni and Devati had. So despite of having a very intimate relationships among themselves, Kardama Muni took great care and did everything which a husband should do for his wife. He took, he built the palace, and we have seen all the opulences which was shown by Kardama Muni. There were thousands of maids. He was taking care. He was going from one heaven to another heaven and traveling here and there. He's taking all the pleasures which a wife can expect from his husband. That was given by Kardama Muni. And then the similar thing we see before that, when Devavati got married to Kardama Muni, how she served for thousands of years. She didn't take care of her body. She was not looking after any sense gratification, just serving her husband and assisting her husband in performing the devotional service which he was into. So that was the ideal husband and wife relationship. But after that, Prabhupada writes, Kardama Muni gave Devoti all sorts of comfort in his duty as a husband. But a very important thing which he writes here is he was not at all attached to his wife. So this is one of the biggest sign of a devotee, right? That despite of maintaining a relationship, a bodily relationship, which is of husband and wife, if one is Krishna conscious and if one is engaged in Krishna, in devotional services, certainly it is said that he has attained the higher pleasure. Param drashtva nivartate. He is realizing the higher happiness. And because of that higher happiness, what is happening? He is not attached to his wife, or wife is not attached to husband. They both are into devotional service. So that is one of the biggest sign of any devotee family or a devotee, how they should lead the life. So they should support each other to maintain this relationship of a material world, which is husband and wife relationship. At the same time, when they are engaged in Krishna conscious activities, in devotional service and are performing Krishna conscious life, then certainly their goal is one. What is that goal? The goal is to attain the Supreme Personality of Godhead, to go back to Godhead. And when that is the goal, obviously that attraction, that material attraction, that sensual attraction which is there between any husband and wife, any material husband and wife, doesn't exist there, right? So they are there to serve Krishna, and when both meet together, their objective is, even if they are meeting for any sexual relationship, then the objective is to have a Krishna conscious child, which is the main objective. Further, Prabhupada writes, as soon as his son Kapil Dev was grown up, Kardama had once left all family connections. So, what is Kardama Muni exhibiting here? So he is exhibiting that whatever principles are set by the Lord of 4 different ashramas, that is to be followed by everyone who is Krishna conscious. So, at that time, yes, it cannot be compared to today's world. In this material world where there are no forest or there is no such culture. So obviously, one shall not leave his family, rather is to try to live as a Vanprastha in his later stage of life when his children have grown up, and so that he leaves all the responsibilities of the family for his son to take care, which an ideal Krishna conscious son should take. And then Prabhupada writes, similarly, Devati was a daughter of a great king. So when here we are discussing about Devati and Kardama, so Prabhupada is mentioning that though Devati came from a very royal family, she was a daughter of a great king, Swambhu Manu, but what type of culture and education she was coming from, what upbringing was given by the parents, that she was, she knew that what is the quality of an ideal wife, and that's how she spent her entire life. Initially, she was dependent when Kardama Muni was there. So she was dependent on her husband, and as soon as Kardama Muni left, she took the dependence of his son Kapil Dev, right? So Prabhupada is writing here, according to Manu, Manu Samhita also quotes that, according to Manu, woman, the fair sex should not have an independence at any stage. In childhood, a woman must be under the protection of the parents. In youth, she must be under the protection of her husband. And in the old age, she must be under the protection of grown children. And Devati, as an ideal woman, has exhibited all these 3. So she was under the guidance and protection of her parents till the time she was married. When she got married, she was under the protection of Kardama Muni. And later, when Kardama Muni left, she was in her old age. She was under the protection of Kapil Dev. So all these 3 were exhibited by Devhuti. But the question comes that, is that possible in today's world, right? So the practical application of such a living, is that possible, or how should we see that a Krishna conscious life can be led by ideal couples, and also how the Matajis should lead their life. So it is said that about, there's an English proverb, right? The hands that rock the cradle is the hand that rules the world. So it is very important for us to understand that the role of a woman, of a mother in a family is very, very important. So the power of motherhood brings sweeping changes in the world across generations. So generations are dependent on the activities which ideally the mothers perform, the duty which they perform. So it's very important to understand.
Haribol. Prabhuji,
Yep.
can I ask question at this point?
Yeah, Prabhu,
because
please,
you see, Devoti Mataji in her young and after marriage and after and then when Sanka, she was dependent on father, then Kadamuni, and then Kapil Dev. Correct.
Right. Right.
Now, even that time, uh, I'm only thinking why she was not thinking of real dependence on Krishna, not on this
Very,
sunlight.
very good
This.
question, Prabhu. Very good question. And that is the prime subject which we all should understand. And this is what here it is related to. See, the point is,
And we are not, yeah. And that was that time. But now in this Kali Yuga, so that time it was easy to have that consciousness. Like yesterday, the
exactly.
real take-home message to me from yesterday, Antaranga Mataji was, your consciousness we focus on that. You're in Bahrain, but think you are in Vrindavana. Krishna is with you. Krishna will be always only in Vrindavana. So why you are thinking, yeah, I'm in Bahrain? First mistake you are doing, that by accepting I'm living in Bahrain. Wrong. You are living with Krishna. Full stop. So if you give weight only to consciousness, and she stressed them yesterday's how much she spoke on consciousness. Extremely important is that consciousness dwelling our mind with Krishna and his thoughts around in whatever worldly activities we are doing. Correct. So
Yeah.
I was thinking if Devati Mataji in that time also was depending on him, like Draupadi Mata depending on all her husbands, which were useless when it came to her worst situation. And Krishna only helped her. And Krishna was saying, I am here standing, but you are not thinking of me. You are not calling me. What can I do? So her consciousness was husband polluted and not with Krishna's consciousness. So this, I think, lesson for us. And I was thinking as you are speaking, if you can relate to this in class, so I interrupted you. Sorry,
Yes.
Prabhu. Hari.
No problem. It's okay. And it's a very valid question. And if we understand this question, then we understand the overall concept, why it has been said that this dependence is very important for women, right? See, the point is, Prabhupada in one of his purport writes about Manu Samhita, what is written in by or spoken by Manu, and the reference in which this sentence has been spoken about the protection and dependency. In Satyuga, there was no different castes, right? It was not Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Sudra. There was only Hamsa. And during that period, even only one God, which was Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana, was only prayed. It was not that demigods were prayed during that time. So everybody was Krishna conscious at that time. And that is the prime reason it has been said that you have to have this dependency. Prabhupada states two different reasons. One is that every person should understand, yes, spiritually, from the soul perspective, there's no difference between a male and a female. But when it comes to a physical and psychological status, Prabhupada very clearly says that we should not negate the reality. Men and women have different physical and psychological talents and capabilities. And one should not artificially try to ignore or negate them. Rather, all these talents and capabilities should be engaged in Krishna service. Prabhupada says that, so there was an interview, which I think it was in 1970, probably in Chicago, right? In which Prabhupada quotes very clearly when a female, interviewer, she asked, and she was asking many questions related to this subject itself. And Prabhupada was quoting there very clearly that one should not neglect this situation that women have different physical and psychological capabilities. Women are capable of bearing children, whereas men are not. Where there is a question of equality. So there's no equality. People say men and women are equal. Yeah, on a spiritual level, they are equal, but on a physical and psychological level, there is a difference, and we should never ignore this. He says that although there is spiritual oneness, the bodily difference exists. Therefore, the principles of Vedic civilization prescribe different duties for men and women. Now, when it comes to dependency or the protection, which women has to seek, right? The overall objective is to seek the protection of any Krishna conscious person. It is not about, so at a different age, her association is with a different person. So in a childhood, she is associated with her family. That means her parents. So father and mother, which should give the protection. And because they are Krishna conscious, they should educate and they should guide the child accordingly. Similarly, when she gets associated with her husband, then her husband, who is again Krishna conscious, has to give similar protection, similar guidance, similar intelligence to her wife. And at the third time, when the husband takes a Vanprastha stage and the children has to take care of the mother, then the child is also Krishna conscious. So that is the type of protection which is being talked about here. It is not about a material, physical relationship of father, husband or child who are not Krishna conscious, but still you have to take the dependence. You know, it's a very quoting in Chaitanya Charitamrita. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, 15th chapter and 264th shloka. If you go there, you'll find that Sarvam Bhattacharya curses his son-in-law, Amoga, right? Amoga actually did chastised Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And seeing that, Sarvam Bhattacharya curses his son-in-law and tells his wife to tell her daughter that she should immediately get her relations broken with her husband. I'll just open this. Okay, let me share that. I'll share this also. Just a minute. Are you seeing my screen? Is my screen with you? See, this is the shloka. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela, 15th chapter, 264th shloka. Sathire kaha. Sati is the daughter of Sarvam Bhattacharya. Sathire kaha tare chaduka se haila patita haile bharta tyajite uchita. Even Sarvam Bhattacharya, person like Sarvam Bhattacharya, is asking his daughter Sati to abandon her relationship with her husband. Inform my daughter Sati to abandon her relationship with her husband because he has fallen down. So if a husband has fallen down, he is not Krishna conscious. Then ideally what a wife should do, she can abandon her relationship with her husband, and that is considered right as per Shastras. When the husband falls down, it is the wife's duty to relinquish the relationship. See, the Shastras are very clearly saying that. Prabhupada later shows here, see, it is writing, I will read this. As far as Sati, the daughter of Sarvam Bhattacharya, was concerned, she was advised to give up her relationship with her husband. Considering this, Srimad Bhagavatam 5.5.18 states, Na patis na chashayan na mochayed yes samupetam mrityum. One cannot be a husband if he cannot liberate his dependence from inevitable death. If a person is not in Krishna conscious and is bereft of his spiritual power, he cannot protect his wife. So this protection is coming from where? A person cannot protect anybody, right? that protection is coming from the Krishna, the strength which is getting from his being Krishna conscious. If one thinks that he can protect anybody, he cannot. That protection, that power which he is getting of protecting anybody, be it wife or children, right? That is coming from Krishna. So he cannot protect his wife from the path of repeated birth and death. That protection is not just a physical protection, it is a protection of not entering into another life as well. Consequently, such a person cannot be accepted as a husband. So this is a type of husband which is being talked about by Manu, that the women should take protection, the wife should take protection of husband. So if of a Krishna, it is about Krishna conscious husband. It's not about the material husbands which are drunkards or which are not Krishna conscious or which are just enjoying their life lavishly. It is not talking about that, because they themselves are absorbed in such activities, abominable activities. They are not pure. How can they expect that purity or that chastity from their wife? A wife should dedicate her life and everything to Krishna for further advancement in Krishna consciousness. If her husband abandons Krishna consciousness and she gives her connection with him, she follows in the footsteps of Dvij Patnis, the wives of Brahmanas who were engaged in performing sacrifices. So Prabhupada is quoting the example where Dvij Patnis, the Brahmana Patnis who had left when they denied, when the Brahmanas denied serving their offerings, their prasad to Lord Krishna, when that Gopas went there, right? They said, no, we cannot offer, it is for Vishnu. And what happened when Dvij Patnis were asked the same thing? They immediately gave up. They themselves ran and they served Krishna, right? So what they did, they discarded their husbands. So that is what Prabhupada is quoting here. If a husband abandons Krishna consciousness, because they are the Brahmanas, abandoned Krishna, that is a type of disrespecting Krishna, not considering Krishna the supreme personality of Godhead. But the wives understood it and they gave up that connection. They came and served Krishna against the will of their husbands, right? And they said that they don't know whether their husband will, when Krishna asked them to go back, they said they don't know. Now they have left their husband. They don't know whether they will accept them or not. So Prabhupada is putting here that if her husband abandons Krishna consciousness and she gives her connection with him, she follows in the footsteps of Dvij Patnis, the wives of Brahmanas who were engaged in performing sacrifices. The wife is not to be condemned for cutting off such a relationship. This is very clearly written here. Prabhu, I think I answered your question.
Haribol, Haribol, Haribol.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Haribol.
So it is very important for us to understand this statement, because many times the Matajis raise question that is this a correct statement? Even the way we take it, understand it is also a big matter, wherein we should understand that what is said is a sentence. It is not about treating them as a slave, or it's not about suppressing them, or it's not about considering them lower. It is not so that in older days, the women were not allowed to work, or they were not allowed to go outside. The biggest examples come from even Krishna Leela. If you see that Bhilni which came to sell fruits, right? Krishna, in that village, in Gokul, when that Bhilni came to sell the fruits, that clearly shows the example that at that time also the women were working. Otherwise, how could that Bhilni come there and serve sell the fruits? She was selling to all, right? And then she came to Lord Krishna's home as well. It was not that she just came to serve Krishna. She was just selling as a normal seller, normal fruit seller. So it is very clear that at that time also, the women were allowed to work. So it should never be understood that are we stopping women to work? No, it is not like that. But we need to understand that what those earlier days were and what type of work they were asked to do and what type of work during this age people are doing and what is the impact on it, right? So in earlier days, these women were allowed to work at nearby places only. They were not allowed to go too far from where they live. So they were supposed to serve in nearby places, or they were supposed to support their husbands in their activities. For example, if a husband is doing farming, then they were supposed to support their husband in farming activities or any such similar activities. And also, these were the two types. And the third type was they were supposed to work in places of like cottage industry, making achar, papad, and sieving and all those type of activities, where they have to live in their own place and they have to work, and then those things can be sold by their husband or can be sent by others. So they were also allowed to work and earn. But that was the thing. Why was that done? Because in order to ensure that they are maintaining their chastity. See, women are very, what do you call? What's the word for komal? They are very gentle or very
Shy?
Very
No?
soft,
shy.
very soft, very
Un-
sensitive, very.
Yes, emotionally they are weak. You can say emotionally they are too weak, right? And
No. Emotionally also they're very, very strong. What they are,
but emotionally they are weak too. We should not neglect this at all.
not weak. What they say, out of concepts of let's say love, out of concepts of love, they become too sensitive towards
Whatever it is, the point is that if you compare the emotional strength, then obviously you find them at a weaker side. And that is why even Srimad Bhagavatam says that in 9th canto, 14th chapter, 38th shloka, it reads that Vidayalika Vishrambam Agyeshu Tyakta Sahadraha Navam Vipsatya Punchala Swairvrattaya. Women are very easily seduced by men. So it is very clearly said that women can easily be cheated, women can easily be attracted, women can easily be seduced. So that is the reason why it is always said that one has to protect. There can be, they can say no to it. I can understand that people do not agree to it. But there is a very clear example which comes from Srimad Bhagavatam itself. You know, damsel like Urvasi, a damsel like Urvasi herself attracts to Pururava. In Canto 9 itself, this story comes. That King Pururava was enchanted by Urvasi. Urvasi himself gets attracted seeing the beauty of Pururava. And then how Pururava also gets attracted to Urvasi and what is the relationship. So there is a clear explanation. Haribol.
Please continue. Please.
That how the women can get exploited, or they can also get seduced by any other person. So nowadays, what is happening? See, earlier the type of work which women were doing was completely different. But today, in this mechanized world, in this world of automatic intelligence and machine learning and all computerized and all those things, everything is considered to be done similarly the way the men are doing, the women can do that. Now, nobody has to do that physical labor, right? All things are, and there are physical labor things also, but physical labor things are not being done by women. Women are mainly doing all technological things. So they are, so that's why it is said that it is being considered equal. But is that the only thing it is there? No. But when they are doing there, when they have to perform those activities, they're also working late in offices. They are mingling with male members. And do we think that while they are mingling with male members, when they are handshaking with them, when they are hugging them, or when they are doing late night parties along with male members of their offices and all, don't you think that there will be impact in their mind?
They will get contaminated.
Not necessarily that everybody will get sexually abused, but yes, they will have a feeling different, wherein they will feel more freedom there instead of looking to their home responsibilities. Their attraction towards their husband will certainly reduce.
Consciousness will change. Consciousness.
Consciousness is going to change. There's a mental impurity which is going to come. Shastras very clearly say that how it happens. When Urvasi saw this, right? When Urvasi from heaven saw Pururava, the attraction of Pururava was such that she came down. Do you think that there are no smart people or beautiful people or people with valor and opulences in heaven in comparison to this material world? To whom Urvasi can leave, and she came down to Pururava. And then when she came down with some conditions. So it is very important for us to understand that what is happening in today's society. So it's not about stopping them to work, not to. So I was one of the lectures from Hitai Sevani Mataji, and that was mainly for Mataji's. I knew that when that lecture happened, but since in that particular class it was only for Mataji's, right? But it is on YouTube. I can send you all the link, and Mataji's or whosoever wants.
Please, sir. Please send, Prabhu. Please
I
send.
will send it, Prabhu. It is a very good lecture in which Mataji is very clearly explaining that what is the impact of today's society, how we are thinking, and Mataji's talks about a few things. See, Mataji says that in today's world, what is happening? Big difference.
Mute, Prabhu, mute.
I will mute. So in today's world, because of the society, because of the atmosphere, because of the changes, because of the social media impact and all, what is happening? Our minds are not stable. Our minds are getting polluted, and because of that, sorry, bro. Because of that, what is happening? That strength of chastity is not there. She quotes one example. I don't remember the name, but she says that she talks about the sister of Anusuya. I don't remember the name of Mataji, but I'll send you the link and you can refer there. So it's about sister Anusuya, whose husband was handicapped, and she used to carry her husband in a basket on her head. And wherever she used to go and do any activity, she used to carry her on her head. And one day, by mistake, her leg touched Maitreya Muni. It was, I think it was Maitreya Muni only. And Maitreya Muni cursed that because of that fault of hers, her husband will die by the next sunrise. As soon as the sunrise happened next day, her husband will die. And Mataji is telling that because of her chasteness, she said that sun will not rise tomorrow. And literally that happened, that sun didn't rise the next day. And then all the demigods came down and just they were at her feet. That please forgive, and he will not die. And that's how Mataji saved her husband. So it is all about the chastity, right? And that is really getting. So it's not about, see, one is getting physically assaulted. It's not just physically assaulted. It's about mental effect, which is going in our entire consciousness. That is also very important for everybody to see and follow. See, Matajis are so polite, so humble, so compassionate that they can be very well cheated. See Mata Sita. Ravan came as a Brahmana and asked for alms, and she immediately came out to serve without thinking anything. Right? So that is the politeness, or that is the simplicity of Matajis. And what happened? She got kidnapped. So that is why it is said that women can be, women are easily seduced. Women are easily seduced. So it is very important that we need to avoid that. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, chapter 12, Sloka 9 says, it talks about what happens when man and women are coming together. Whatever type of relationship, like when they are together, what is happening? Nan vagni pramdana grat kumbha sama puman sutamapi raho jana dhanyada yavada arthakrata. Woman is compared to fire and man is compared to a butter pot. Therefore, a man should avoid associating even with his own daughter in a secluded place. Similarly, he should avoid association with other women. It is an instruction to Prabhus that how should they behave. It is showing the influence what when two different opposite sex are coming together. So when it can happen at that time, what to talk of this age? Right? So it is very, very important for us to understand that why is this protection needed and what type of protection is being talked about here. It is about Krishna conscious protection. It's not about a protection from a general person who is not Krishna conscious, because his consciousness is not pure. How can he educate or how can he help her child or her wife, his wife or his child liberate? So that is the prime focus here. Few important points which came from the lecture was that association is very, very important. Whom are we associating with? And especially for Matajis, whom are they associating with is very, very important. It's all about consciousness. The impact of social media is such that everybody thinks that how many likes are they getting? They don't think that are these likes coming from Guru Shastra and Shastra? Are these coming from devotees? No. It is coming from all non-Krishna conscious persons. And that's how our mind are getting polluted and we are getting flown in that direction that they are saying so they will. See, as a build, Prabhupada says that the construct of man is that man are egoistic. Women are emotional, they want love and they want to be loved. They give love, they are so caring and they want to be cared as well. Every woman, no woman can say in the world that they don't want love or they don't want to be cared or protected. What is the difference between a protection given to a child by a woman or a protection given by a husband to a woman? Are we, when we are protecting our child, are we treating the child as a slave? No, it's for the welfare of the child. It is for giving him that protection which is much needed so that he can live his life well. Similarly, the protection which is needed to be given to wife is for her protection so that she can live a very happy life or a protected life or a non-polluted life. Right? It is for her own welfare.
Mostly for mother to child is mostly a selfless, because she doesn't expect anything out of the child. But from husband to wife, mostly it is selfish also. He wants also to get out of her something, some gratification.
That is the relationship which in a material world has. Right? But in a spiritual world, that doesn't exist. In a Krishna conscious life, That is not there because the object of a Krishna conscious husband is to serve
Krishna.
Lord. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, is to serve Krishna. And that is what is being spoken here. So when we read this sentence in Manu Samhita, we think as if we are talking of a general person. It's not about a general
Yeah.
person. It's about a Krishna conscious person. And that is why till Krishna is in center, whether it's from in a family, so both husband and wife have to Krishna conscious. And then only that relationship can exist. Because at that time, that selfish relationship ends. Because the objective of both the person is to serve Krishna. So that is where we have to understand. And for a healthy relationship, I'll share that link. That's a very good link in which
Yeah.
Mataji is advising
Very important.
Matajis that how should they behave or what should they do in order to lead a very happy, balanced, Krishna conscious life.
Preeti
She is
Mataji
very-
wanted. Preeti Mataji wanted. She said, please
Yeah, I will
send. I will-
send you the link, Prabhu. I will send
Yeah.
you the link and you can forward her also.
Yeah.
Right. Mataji says that women are like a spine. For our body, spine is the most important point. Without our spine being erect and straight, can we look smart, good, or
No.
fine? No, not at all. Similarly, without women acting as a spine, no family can stand properly.
Yeah.
No culture can stand properly. So women are like a spine. But can spine come in front? It will look odd. It will not help, right? So spine
Back.
has to be at the back. So similarly, Mataji's has to be at the back. Back doesn't mean that you are inferior. You have to be a supporting strength for a family. So that's
Entire
how you
family.
have to, yeah, exactly. So this is what there are many points in that lecture. I'm not remembering all points, but she spoke about 4 Ds. One is that Mataji should have discrimination power, that they should understand what is right and wrong. Mataji should follow strict discipline. They
Yeah.
should have a strong determination and they should
Yeah.
have strong devotion. These are the 4 Ds
Fantastic.
must to follow.
Fantastic.
So these are the 4 things. I will share the link, and that's a very good link, and everybody can go through that. And especially for Mataji's. Today, Seema Mataji is not here.
Yeah,
Seema
Seema.
Mataji are not here. So
Anita
you can
Mataji.
share that link. Anita Mataji is not here. So it is very good because it is must for. So obviously, we Prabhu should also understand that.
साई बाबा में भी
we
देंगे.
are-
सरोज में सबको साई बाबा में देंगे.
That is
सब
in
हिंदी
Hindi.
में.
That lecture is in Hindi, Prabhu. So that is good. We can share it to everyone. So that is a very good lecture. I'll share that.
Prabhuji,
there's a-
Mataji is loving their child, newborn baby, a small child. Out of their natural love towards them is perfectly natural. But I think the scriptures are advising her that you both parents, father and mother, have to love the child, take the extra care, thinking it is Krishna has given them their child, his child, to look after them. Then that is how both father and mother will raise their consciousness. Otherwise, mother naturally loves the child. I won't say out of selfish love. It is more natural that the feeling of mine is there and that I have to take care. And
Same goes with father also, Prabhuji. Same goes with father also. Father
Yeah.
also loves his son and protects him. He doesn't allow him to do anything bad. That is for his welfare, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So it is. So that is what he is trying to protect his son.
But
So
Prabhu,
similarly-
father and the elder, when become older, they want to get money from the son, no? That little selfishness is there. जब बुढ़ापा आ जाएगा, they will
Prabhuji, in
expect some-
material world, even the mother is also serving the child with all
expectation.
Yeah, all expectation. So they all have that possessiveness and everything is there.
Only where consciousness is polluted, this is there. Otherwise, I've seen parents who are totally, Krishna conscious, and they don't have such feelings from their children. I have seen such parents also. Yeah.
I agree, Prabhu, I agree.
Even if they are not devotees.
So, so the overall understanding here is that when Prabhupada is writing here or is referring to this statement of Manu, the objective is that person, whomsoever that protection is needed to be given is to be given by a Krishna conscious person. The father should be Krishna conscious, the husband should be Krishna conscious, and the son should be Krishna conscious. Otherwise, the women are allowed to discard them even and lead a Krishna conscious life themselves.
Jai.
There's a even I'll share that link also. There's a there is a this write up in Back to Godhead magazine also,
Jai.
and there's an interview which I think there's a Mataji called Sitarani Mataji. She's from Australia and she's now living in Philadelphia with her husband. There was an interview. It was in 1975. She's not a disciple of Prabhupada. She is disciple of Bhavananda Goswami Maharaj. And she gives a very clear understanding and that what does that mean and how should one feel, what women should do, what is the right understanding. So she also explains everything very clearly. I'll share that link also.
Jai.
That is in English. So that is from Back to Godhead magazine. And I'll share the link of Sevli Mataji also. Both the things are very good for us to understand that.
You have done a lot of R&D, a lot of research.
No, Prabhu, it's not.
Jai, Prabhu.
That's simple.
Very good. Prabhuji is fantastic. You have so many cross references, so many things, really. Yeah, we have to be grateful. You are serving us, like,
Yes.
with so many.
I am grateful to Shukar Prabhu, Rameswar Prabhu, which are just making read something.
Yeah, they
Otherwise,
correct. They are the foundation stones, and they inspire us. Yeah. Haribol.
No foundation and all. Any question? Preeti Mataji, any question?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. No question. Thank you so much. Oh my God.
Mataji will get the link. I will send to Shukar Prabhu and he will send it to you.
Yeah.
Haribol. Thank you so much. Thank you. Hare
She's
Krishna.
attending every day, so many classes here, there, everywhere.
Oh, Ram.
18 hours she's doing service in this for Purushottam Yoga. Purushottam Mad. B.S. Naran Prabhu, any questions?
No questions. Only, all these classes are giving so much clarity now. No questions.
Rameswar Prabhu is R&D in this sexual act and all. He has done so much studies. But from that, I'm going to make a book now. So many things he has said, no? One book. Kitab likhna padega abhi. Prabhu, you didn't comment anything, Prabhu. Any comment on this?
No,
Women's liberation?
I was hearing, Prabhu, it is a very, very complex subject. The Vedic time to present day, how much ever we discuss, lack of clarity is there. So maybe practically, see, in one of our satsang, in one of the family, Mataji is earning 3 times as the husband. And we should, in the class, another Prabhu said, Mataji should be always dependent on Prabhus. And she was sarcastically laughing because this Prabhu cannot manage the family. And I want to be dependent to him. She said, and Mataji, why you are laughing? Any comments? Mataji said, no comments. That no comments has 1,000 questions. So
Comments.
cannot say anything on.
No comments has already commented. By being silent, she has commented already.
Yeah. So this is very complex, Prabhu.
That is the point, Prabhu. Till you are Krishna conscious, you will not understand it. See, the point is even Mataji, if she is earning 3 times more, whatever. The point is, if the objective is to serve Krishna, it doesn't matter what Prabhu is earning or Mataji is earning. It's a joint
Prabhu,
thing.
yeah, Prabhu, yeah, I totally agree with you, Prabhu. Mataji is saying, we are here for 20 years, we don't have any house. Children are studying there, we are paying fees. My daughter is going to get married. I cannot give my daughter to someone. But I need to earn money. This person is not understanding, and she said, if I start talking, that is, I know Krishna consciousness what it is. I am initiated long time before. Prabhu is also initiated. But practically, we are living in this material world where my daughter and children are also should be in the same level. I can go and get married anyone. No, they are very, very picky and choosy. And I cannot, if I am become very big devotee. She said, I'm going to leave her whatever life she wants, because if I'm living the if we discuss about that family only, it is very, very, I don't know, bro, how.
She says she
Finally,
cannot force.
finally,
She cannot.
yeah, she had force. Finally, the Prabhu also stepped back and he understood his limitations. I said, I have to look, I have to take care about my journey to my final journey. So he said, so the daughter, she was in Krishna conscious. Now, seeing this all, for her, it looks like a big joke. She left moment only. Now, if there is program at her house, their house, she will go 1 hour before out. Go around.
Oh.
I don't want to see any devotee. Now, the completely materialized, materialistic people movement.
She
I don't know.
lost faith. She lost
Yeah.
faith.
Yeah, lost faith because she's seeing there are a lot of discrepancies between her father and mother only. Mother said, I cannot intervene in their life. So Dubai life is like that. So finally, she luckily, before she finds someone, family found someone, and she is going to America. Maybe sometimes after Krishna conscious may come to her. Now nobody can speak Krishna conscious to them. Each and every family in Dubai devotees, if you see, one generation is nice, family, parents. Second generation is, if somebody is following, it's very big luck, Prabhu.
Prabhu, the major reason which I find there is because I had been also in the Middle East. Whatever is happening, like when we go there, we are in middle age, we are in 40s, something like that, and then we are coming to Krishna consciousness, right? Most of us. It's not like we have been Krishna conscious from earlier days. So the upbringing of our children is not a Krishna conscious upbringing, right? And they have already been into an earlier facility build thing where because of our status, we have given them those facilities. They are in that atmosphere. They are mingling with that type of society and all those things. And all of a sudden, if we want them to leave that, certainly that is not possible. And then we say that what is this Krishna conscious giving? So that thinking that way is also not a correct thinking, because obviously you are also now learning Krishna consciousness or now getting into Krishna consciousness.
Absolutely,
You are not that, right? So how can you expect them, or when we call it as the word protection, what does this protection mean? This protection is a mutual protection. It's not that if Mataji is earning and if Prabhuji is earning less, then Mataji should leave earning and Prabhuji should afford the family. It doesn't mean that. The protection is not the only financial protection. It's an overall protection. Prabhupada writes very clearly that this protection is mainly a protection where a husband guides her wife how she will not take birth again. That is the protection which we are talking about. It's not about
Financial.
But when we understand, so the reason why the families are not understanding it, because we are very lately coming into this, and because we have been materially sound and now our condition is good and all those things, We don't want to leave that. Though saying we are in Krishna consciousness, but we are not understanding what Krishna consciousness is. So that is the biggest challenge which is still we have.
But if you have Krishna
I
in the
totally
center,
agree with you, Prabhu. Those who are from the first generation, second generation, from the induction of ISKCON, on 2-3 generations are completely in Krishna conscious, means they don't have any discrepancy, and from Prabhupada times it's okay. Otherwise, even personally we all face problems. Sugar Krishna Prabhu is a born devotee, so no problem. He is from
not born devotee.
no Prabhu, I'm talking about not Krishna consciousness.
But yeah,
Luckily
it's
you are
from that family culture.
even
Is that.
from a Brahminic culture family. For me, I will tell you my personal, I don't know where taking my time, sorry Prabhu.
Bro, we can
Uh,
stop recording.
I came to Krishna consciousness at the age of 40 because my wife left the body 39 when I was 39, and the next year I found there is no other way. This is good, so I started coming.
Oh, after that only. So Mataji was not knowing
Yeah,
about.
before that, on and off, Prabhu. We will go to Krishna conscious. We will 10 years we were in Krishna conscious, but no conscious. No
Casual.
Krishna conscious. In the sense, my sister may compel, we'll go to temple, we'll eat prasadam and all, coming back, we'll buy something nonsense. I don't want to repeat those words nowadays. And then we'll put in the fridge like that. It was going on after she left the body. So what to do? Then I came to Krishna consciousness and I decided this is my life. So that time my daughter was 8 years old. Even I was just knowing the nuances of Krishna consciousness, and I go, but I cannot carry her separately here, alone here, because it's not possible. So she was living with my grandmother, okay. And knowing her, whenever I go India, she's become pure, like she'll put tilak, she'll take my chanting bag, along with chanting, she'll go into satsang. The day I come, next 11.5 months, nothing. Because nobody is there to practice or anything. Even the offering plates and all, I will pack and keep it in my cupboard and I'll come back.
No association.
No association
No
for her, like that. And when she became, I don't know, maybe 13 or 14, after 5 years of this, and she said, she's taught, I did not force her to do anything. Then she became kind of, because whenever I am there, my mother, grandmother, that's her grandmother, is also vegetarian. Okay, so we don't cook anything non-vegetarian at home. By chance, it is not our community is full non-vegetarian vegetarians, but by chance she's also, after her husband left the body, she became vegetarian. That is long time before. So it was like this. One day when I was there, I came to know that one of our uncle, feeling compassion on my daughter, this family, everything spoiling her, he took her and took her outside hotel and gave some non-vegetarian treat and came.
Oh.
And I was really upset. And then I was really, I cannot fight with her because she don't have mother. And I was talking to this. So you lead your life as the way you want. I will. I was little emotional because I am in Krishna conscious. This girl ate with some uncle he took, and my grandmother was told something. Then really I struck. Her grandmother, my mother-in-law, she said, "See, until she's now 13 years. Okay, you are until 40 years." You are doing all beach barbecue, all that. Okay. So when she grows up, she finds let her not feed anything. Let her understand the whole world like that. And then you take up Krishna consciousness. The God conscious, we can support, but never we can inject. That will bounce back. And that will give a wrong impression on the God conscious. So it is not that as a custom you did all these parties and all that. You enjoyed that. That's why you are doing it. Now, as and when you are here, she's not doing anything. As I am vegetarian, I also will not cook. So someone taking her, doing that, please respect them. A day will come, she will refuse. That day revealed. Then I realized that what I'm doing, because then I realized I said sorry to my my mother-in-law, but not to her. But when she became 14 years, next year she became vegetarian. No, nothing. But even at that, I didn't know. After 1 year, 16 or 17, there were a party, and then in a family party, everyone were non-vegetarians. Only few, maybe 10% vegetarians. Me also. My daughter, others, it's a buffet. She took only this one, and you don't want to take this party if you want. No, don't, not for me. Don't take this one. Then said, no, Dad, I left 2 years back only.
Yeah.
You didn't ask me, I didn't tell you. But since this happened, I tell you, after that you said, I realized, and last year, now she's 25, last 15 years, or yeah, from
Yeah.
15 to 20, 10 years, she's vegetarian. So what I'm saying is, this is very complicated, Prabhu. This is, this subject matter is very, for me, what I would say is, even one's journey, final journey is very difficult. First we have to understand, and we have to make sure every moment we are in the right direction for our journey, secured journey. And as much as possible, we have to support the family, society. This is what
But
my
Prabhu, your relative should not have taken her like that. No, when he knows that you are following Krishna, he should not have. He only is the spoiler. He shouldn't have done that. Not taken her and give her non-veg and all. He has his
Krishna
fault.
conscious, Prabhu. If you go out, if you see 1,000 people, that's why I'm saying I'm not taking you into a consideration because you're a born devotee. When I said this one, in Kerala, Prabhu, every day 5,000 tons of red meat is sold. 5,000 tons of red meat is sold in such a small state. Nowhere in India, except Kerala, even the Hindus will eat beef. Even in Tamil Nadu, beef, Hindus will not eat. All other meat they will eat, but cow meat they will not eat. But in my family, not in my family, but in out second circle, if you see, everybody, the party means everything is there. So they don't know it is a sin, Prabhu. If I am vegetarian, they see me as a strange alien, like he's a strange person. If I put tilak and walk on the road, they will feel sorry for me. This is what. One day,
Haribol,
one day,
Prabhuji.
one
Can
day I
I-
was in. Sorry, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. Please, Prabhu.
No, you complete because
No, I'm saying one day my second circle relatives all came that I'm into Krishna conscious. I went to one convention center, dancing, singing, all that, and I came home. That time I was 42-year-old. 2-3 uncles came. We feel so sorry for you. Your life has become like this. We are going to, we cannot leave you like this. We have to find another lady for you to marry. I was laughing. Why are you laughing? Don't worry, we are here. I said, no, I'm laughing by seeing your perspective on life. First of all, who told you that I'm in very sorrow, I'm in a miserable condition? In fact, I am 1,000 times happier than you all guys. That perspective, nobody can realize, Prabhu. This is what the whole world is. Maybe in Vedic times, someone will understand, but Kali is very difficult.
True, Prabhu, true.
Haribol. Prabhuji, some points for me to add.
Yes,
I think it may give some another perspective. You see, I remember one very stressful sentence you said in one of your class, that without mercy, without a pure devotee's mercy, you cannot really advance on this path. Okay. Wow.
correct.
Now, if we take this, and if you take this sentence, now keep in mind while as I'm trying to express something. As far as my memory serves me right, and I can recall more than 10 to 15 generations in our own family, we are Krishna conscious. The Lord Krishna's, our surname is Bhagwan, which means we are attached to we consider, my father. Everybody is coming from Bhagwan is the ultimate. So father has to serve his father, has to serve his father. So we have to serve all to the Lord Bhagwan, So Krishna consciousness is practiced in our generations, or at least 10 generations. I remember so many names. I remember even my parents and everybody. Now, I've seen as a childhood also how the celebration of Janmashtami and other things are going on. Okay. Even me as a child, I remember when I get up in the morning, my grandmother will not give me milk unless I chant the entire 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Okay. So there has been now, like Sukhagar Prabhu, his generation, Vanita's next daughter, now even the child, Vanita's children, they're all Krishna conscious. And Guru Maharaj himself is, bless them. So as you said, it is a different story. Okay. But even in families like ours, I feel on larger perspective, everyone who has come together under the umbrella or the banner of our family surname, he's also bringing his karma and parartha with him. You see? So, everyone is always on the test. That's why my mother is always telling me that remember, always Krishna is under, you are always under trust. So, being consciousness, yesterday when Antaranga Mataji was stressing on this word, remain conscious irrespective of time, situation, and circumstances around you, hit me more strongly when I try to recall what all is happened or happening in our family for last so many generations. Why is that so? Okay. So, Pushtimarg, these devotees, in our own home, 25 years there is a Haveli, a Srinath Mandir, and 500 to 1,000 Gujarati Vaishnavas are coming to, it's a temple in our own home. On the ground floor, there's temple, we are staying on the first floor. So in spite of all the environment or association around, all of us, we are gathered under this family banner, have their own karmas, have their own prarabdhas. And since we are involved and entangled, both, you see, involvement is little positive word, entanglement is little negative word, but both are in any case bondages. Okay. We have our own prarabdha, and everyone's test is to see, in spite of all this, how you can remain conscious of the Krishna, who is the one around whom everyone is running around. Okay. Which is why I often like this sloka of Bhagavad Gita when it says, Tasmat Sarveshu Kaleshu. What it is telling? Continuously remember me for what? In that, when we are doing Namasmaran means what? When we are reciting maximum times Krishna's name means what? That is making you aware that it is this Krishna, it is he, it is he, it is he. It is not you, it is not you, not you. You are not the doer, nor the enjoyer. You are only servitor, and in the entire process, you are that. So your consciousness has to be always much more, fixed. It should be like pegged to, like in Middle East, they say, dinar is pegged to dollar. So we should be pegged to this consciousness, So on the larger perspective, if you see everything, you will feel everything is happening correctly. No mistake. No, absolutely no mistake. Everything is happening correctly. Okay. This is what I feel my understanding is. Haribol Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhu. Again, your parampara or your parivar is again very fortunate. You have done some good sukriti to get life. In my whole of family, if you have 50 people assemble, my daughter, my sister, and me only in Krishna conscious. Others rarely. Some are only in once in month. Some are 3 months in once go to temple. In home, no altar only, many houses. No altar, no photos only. In Kerala, it's very difficult. Some people even go to temple for marriages, and they will not enter into the temple only. Outside mandapa, finish, marriage party, will finish and come. Very pathetic. Kerala is very, very pathetic. I don't know what punya. Maybe my mother was a wonderful devotee. Some sukriti she left for me. That is why I escaped. Otherwise, my mother was an amazing devotee.
Yeah, I remember you told her when she is continuously cooking, busy in kitchen, but she is always saying.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
Right?
So, she did not. Even she did not read Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam. I don't know. Somebody passed on that sukriti to her. No scriptures, no single Bhagavad Gita, no altar, only at my home. Prabhu, once I remember one Guruvayur photo up and was lying on one wall. That's all. And later my father was sometimes seasonable, sometimes become Ayyappa devotee. That 40 days, something all pop up somewhere and then will disappear after 40 days. Coming from Sabarimala, he will be fully boost, fully in 4 legs only, he will come back.
Yeah. Prabhuji, this is Kali Yuga.
Yeah.
All these things. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, Prabhu, thank you. It's very, very late. 10:35 for Indians. Those who are
Hari
Hare Krishna. One second. Yeah, Prabhu, this is all recorded. Hare Krishna. Okay.
Okay, you can withdraw it. That's all.
Okay. One
And
second.
then
Krishna Prabhupada ki jai.
Hari.
Hare Krishna.
Gauranga,
Nityananda,
Gauranga.
Gauranga, Nityananda, Hari Bol,
Gauranga.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.